Maybe I do. Maybe I'll find Henry.
This is it. This is the only Five Nights at Freddy's fan series I want to cover. Because, in my eyes, it's the best one, and nothing else comes close. It's dark, gritty, and hopelessly dreadful, leaving me wondering if a happy ending is even possible for those involved. This is a far cry from the more colorful direction the official franchise is steered towards. I don't want horror fiction that leaves me laughing at how silly it all is. That's just not my thing. I want the horror fiction that leaves me with the sinking feeling of dread, the kind that has a lasting effect on the rest of my day. That, to me,
What is your name?
is the best kind of horror.
I'll repeat. What is your name?
40301, and tonight we're going to be taking a look at the Five Nights at Freddy's VHS series by MD-PTV, or Ambient. Five Nights at Freddy's needs no introduction, so I'm not going to introduce it. Over the years, Five Nights at Freddy's has been losing me more and more. I stopped caring around the time like the sister location game came out. I don't even really know what the latest game is or where the story is at this point in time, if there even is a story anymore. But I always look back to this series because it just brings back that darkness that was present in the original 3 games, back when we were still figuring stuff out, back when the series was a lot more mysterious and a lot more grim. One major thing about this series that we're going to cover tonight is that in the timeline of this series, Five Nights at Freddy's 3 does not happen. Instead, these events do. For those who are new to the Five Nights at Freddy's story, don't worry, I'll be giving you full context on everything that you need to know. For those who are FNAF veterans, let this just serve as a reminder of how dark this series used to be, or how dark it actually is or should be. Let this be an example of how I like my horror in comparison to where the actual mainstream series is going. I promise that at some point I'm not going to take 3 whole decades to make a video, but until then, let's begin. A sentient animatronic machine awakens in a small, dimly lit room. A room obviously unfamiliar to it. As it wanders around its brand new prison, it begins to speak to itself. The animatronic sounds as if it's struggling to breathe, and as if the very act of speaking is painful.
Hello, my name is Dennis Crane. I will be your regular interviewee for any scheduled appearance. Starting recording now. Agent Crane, commencing interview 1. The date is... What is your name? I'll repeat. What is your name? Why were you in a sealed-off room inside the Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria?
The animatronic refuses to speak, and seems to be attempting to play dead as it sits like a statue, probably hoping that it may be left alone if it can trick the human into thinking that it's just an inanimate object. However, the next question by our interviewer, Agent Dennis Crane, shocks the animatronic into dropping its facade.
Who are Henry and Michael? Okay, I think we'll stop.
The organization that has captured and imprisoned our new animatronic friend is called the MD Foundation, and their current goal is simple: find out how this animatronic powers itself, as it's not plugged into any wall and probably doesn't run on AA batteries. There is a port on the body of the animatronic capable of intaking power, but it's rusted beyond function. The Foundation thinks they may be able to repair it, but do we really want to get too close to this thing? The Foundation hypothesizes that the animatronic is not responding because it's low on power, and so they organize a way to supply it with power. Forget about the possibility of powering the thing into a state beyond control. Surely that won't happen. This is all perfectly safe. The power supply is installed, and the founders of the MD Foundations are preparing to reignite a project called Steel Flesh. The MD Foundation found this animatronic in the back of the now defunct Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. The animatronic was then brought back to the MD Foundation for study and questioning. The Foundation's goals are not entirely clear yet. They're currently interested in learning how the animatronic is powered, but I think we all know that it runs a little bit deeper than that.
Initiating test removal of sample. My name is Dennis Crane. I will be overseeing the sample removal. I am here with Agent James White, who will be the operator of this test and will be the one taking the sample. The entity is currently in a sleep mode state or idle state, which can last up to 7 hours a day, sometimes longer. We are currently 2 hours in its idle state. Beginning log. Agent White, you may now take the sample.
Beginning recording.
With the animatronic in a sleep state, the Foundation has decided to take the opportunity to take a sample of the flesh that is intertwined with the inner workings of the animatronic. Why is there flesh inside of this machine? Well, if you don't already know, I guess you'll just have to stick around.
All right. I'm now approaching with the scalpel. Yeah, creating a very small incision now. I've breached the flesh cavity. I am...
Get scared.
Remember what I said about getting too close to that thing? Despite the death of Agent James White, the sample was successfully taken, and the Foundation has concluded that the animatronic is somehow able to feel, given its reaction.
Hello again. Starting recording.
The interviews
Agent
continue,
Grant, commencing
but to no
interview
benefit,
two.
as the animatronic again stays silent, even after all that has happened.
What is your name?
It has nothing to say. We're getting nowhere.
Huh? What?
We're gonna try something different. End it here.
The animatronic paces back and forth, speaking to itself, asking for help, complaining about its condition, and speaking ill about people. People who seem to have wronged it in its past. It swears revenge, swears that they will die. But who are these people, and why are they worthy of such hatred?
Hello again. Starting recording. Agent Crane, commencing interview 3. It's been 3 weeks since our last interview. What is your name? William.
This is William Afton, a man turned monster, and the father of all the pain and torment that plagues the Five Nights at Freddy's universe. Forgive the low amount of visuals on this part. I'm just not gonna source a ton of shit. I'm just not gonna do it. And yes, you can thank game theory for what I'm about to tell you. William Afton as a child was inspired by a traveling bear show, as in a traveling circus with a bear as the main act. Growing up, William Afton always had the dream of starting his very own traveling bear show, with his own walking, talking characters. So eventually, he started one with his very first character, Fredbear, a golden bear with a bow tie and all. He wanted to bring his character to life and entertain children, so he opted for the traditional mascot suit. And he was massively successful in this endeavor. But I guess all good things don't last. In comes Henry Emily, a highly skilled mechanic specializing in robotics. He opened his own restaurant with this yellow chicken character, Chica. The key difference was that Chica was a completely autonomous animatronic, not a mascot suit. And Henry's restaurant became massively popular, eventually driving William damn near out of business. William heavily resented Henry for this, for not only running him out of business, but also perfecting his dream, bringing a character to life. Having a completely autonomous animatronic character is much more bringing your character to life than stepping inside of a suit and moving it yourself. What made everything even worse was that Henry offered to buy out William's business and merge the two companies together. And William did agree to this, but the shame, jealousy, and resentment only grew from there. But also a little bit of admiration. William was fascinated with Henry's robotics and would often study how he works and how everything was built. It was a new and better way for William to bring his characters to life. Working together, William Afton and Henry Emily started their own restaurant headlining with William's character. A restaurant called Fredbear's Family Diner, starring Fredbear, Chica, and a brand new character by William, Bonnie, a golden bunny character. The Bonnie animatronic was a joint creation by William and Henry. Not only was it a fully autonomous animatronic, I keep saying that, but it also allowed for the internal robotics or spring locks to be moved out of the way so that it makes room for someone to step inside and puppet it manually. It's a hybrid between an animatronic and a mascot suit. The spring lock suit. Unfortunately, the design was flawed, so it was never really mass produced. The other animatronics, however, were safe. For the most part. They weren't really made to walk around, only to stay on stage. You're not meant to get near these things at all. This was Evan Afton, William's youngest son, killed when placed far too close to the Fredbear animatronic. Placed inside the mouth, putting tremendous strain on the robotics in the head, until they gave and snapped shut, crushing young Evan's skull. The loss of his youngest child sent William Afton into despair, ultimately blaming Henry and his fucking robotics for the death of his son. One drunken night, he built up the courage to confront Henry, so he drove over to the Fredbear diner where Henry surely was. Upon arriving to the diner, William finds Henry's daughter locked outside the diner by her bullies, and the drunken William Afton takes the opportunity to educate Henry on what it's like to lose. William Afton kills young Charlotte outside of the Fredbear family diner. The police deem Charlotte's death as a random act of violence. There's no evidence to pinpoint any killer. Henry had a feeling that William had something to do with this, but he had no proof. With 2 deaths on record, Fredbear's Family Diner was forced to close its doors. But their second location, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, remained open, and all of the original animatronics, including William's Springlock Bonnie suit, were decommissioned there.
During one of the evidence runs, you were seen hitting the door and calling names of a Michael and Henry. Who are these people to you? You said that Henry left you to die? Why?
William did not stop. He had found something new, something he enjoyed very much, and he wanted that thrill again. Now stationed at the Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria, he would occasionally wear the decommissioned yellow Bonnie suit and lead children to the back of the pizzeria with promises of cake and candy. These children would meet the same fate as young Charlotte, but this time, William had the genius idea of hiding his victims' bodies within the bodies of the animatronics. Animatronics that only he was in charge of maintaining. Eventually, surveillance caught one of his antics, but all they saw was a big-ass yellow rabbit leading a child to a back room. No William, no bodies found, no conviction. All of William's victims were deemed missing. But Henry knew that this was William's doing, so he did the only thing that he could do and banished him completely from the franchise. He also banned him from setting foot near any location. Henry had set off to create a new pizzeria, a new Freddy Fazbear's, safe from William's madness. He created new animatronics, cuter, safer, and fitted with facial recognition software to spot and report registered predators. And William. There was only one problem. Freddy Fazbear, Foxy, Bonnie. These were William's characters. And when news of the brand new Freddy Fazbear's Pizza graced the banished William Afton's eyes, he didn't take it too well. An opening for the day shift security guard was available. William took the position, and how he got the job is completely beyond me. This shit is long enough, I'm not even gonna try. So with his time at the new pizzeria, William's goal now was to ruin Henry's new operation. Henry wasn't about to just cut William out and then profit off of his original characters. Not happening. So William once again found that cursed yellow Bonnie suit and went off to ruin Henry, luring and killing multiple just like he did before.
Upon taking that sample, we discovered a welded tag with the words Spring Bonnie written over it. Is this the name of the suit? A trap. Like a spring trap. Someone write that down.
At some point during his time there, William noticed that the new toy-like animatronics would wander around the pizzeria on their own. But the strange thing was that the old animatronics were also wandering around the pizzeria. The same ones that he used to use as hiding spots for his victims. But that doesn't make any sense. These things are broken, torn down for spare parts. How are these things alive? This one question became the only thing on William's mind. So he lured them, one by one, ambushed them, and dismantled them. The outer shells, they were nothing. The endoskeletons moved these things, so that had to be the key. The souls of William's victims that had been stuffed inside these animatronics had somehow embedded themselves within the endoskeletons. So he would take the endoskeletons, melt them down, and take them back to his lair. In his lair, he would inject the liquid metal that he now called Remnant into the endoskeletons of his very own top secret animatronic designs. And the fucking thing came to life. William had unlocked the secret to life. And thus, William Afton, the mad scientist, was born.
Looking at the decrepit material, we learned that there is a mold covering the surface of the suit running down at an age of over 40 years old. But the human biological DNA only interacted with that within the last 30 years, meaning you were not always in the suit. Care to explain your situation?
I was hunted, chased. I wanted revenge. I hid.
Chased by who?
William went back to the pizzeria because he needed to get more of this remnant material. He eagerly searched for more endoskeletons, but instead was met by the ghosts of his recent victims. Not tethered to any animatronic or endoskeleton because William didn't even bother to hide the bodies this time around. Remember, the goal was to ruin Henry, so he wanted bodies to be found this time around. The ghosts ended up cornering him in his little safe room where he dismantled the animatronics until he hatched an idea. He would once again don the yellow Bonnie suit in an attempt to scare the ghosts with the image of their killer. The ghostly hunters would remember that they are... The spring locks closed, with William still inside. The cold steel of the endoskeleton gripped, pierced, and teared. The very tool that William had used to inflict evil had forsaken him. Later, the security guards checked this room to find all of the broken animatronics. They suspect a break-in and inform the authorities. They also inform Henry to come and claim the damage. When Henry arrived, he saw the broken animatronics. Henry saw William inside the Spring Bonnie suit, alive, suffering, dying. And without a single word, Henry turns his back on William for the last time. And this room was fucking sealed for decades.
Why were you in a sealed-off room inside the Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria?
He refused to help me. Sealed the door shut. Left me to die.
Henry, I see. You were conscious that whole time? For 30 years in a dark, sealed room? How come you were responding to these questions now? I don't think you realize how difficult...
And I don't think you people realize how difficult it is for me to respond. Do you know how it feels to have your foot torn apart? Well, I'll fucking show you.
This interview sent William into a rage state. He attacked Agent Crane, leaving him badly injured. William breaks out of the holding cell and goes on a rampage, one that killed more than a dozen MD Foundation staff and security, whose families were later informed that their loved ones were killed in a freak accident during a napalm test. I guess a napalm accident wouldn't leave much of a body for the families to request. The Foundation manages to recapture William. Agent Crane is now under emergency medical care and will be replaced in the following interviews by an Agent Mark Robbs. The interviews being with a Michael Afton, William's oldest son. William's son Michael was discovered hiding out in an abandoned sewer system where he had made a home for himself, which, given his current condition, is probably the best place for him to have been. Michael agreed to be escorted from his hideout to the MD Foundation under the condition that he could see his father, William, whom he's been searching for decades, which works out because that's exactly what the Foundation wanted anyway.
Hello, my name is Agent Mark Robbs. I'm here with Michael Afton. After a detailed investigation, we managed to locate him to where he agreed to come in to answer some questions under a certain agreement, which will be explained later. Started recording. Agent Mark Robbs commencing interview 01. The date is... State your name for the recording.
Michael Afton.
What exactly is your relationship with the entity Springtrap?
Springtrap? I don't think I understand.
That is the current title for William Afton. It was put together in placement of a cover name for what William has become.
Become?
How Michael ended up in his condition is a bit different from his father's story. They're both undead now, and the ways in which they met their ends are both unimaginable horrors, but Michael's is quite special, if that is the word to describe it. The events that happened to William had left Michael wondering why his father hadn't returned home. Fortunately, Michael had instructions left by his father for this very situation. In his childhood home, Michael locates a key to a secret room with an elevator. What Michael didn't know was that below his childhood home, the home that he thought he knew, was an underground facility where William would disappear to work. The same facility that William would run off to after harvesting the endoskeletons of the old animatronics. A facility for William to create and test his very own animatronic designs. Henry be damned. Funtime Freddy, Funtime Foxy, Ballora, and Circus Baby. William's latest monstrosities, and the ones responsible for Michael's condition, that of a rotten, hollow, walking, talking corpse. Michael should be beyond dead.
Welcome to the first day of your exciting new career.
Upon entering the facility, Michael is greeted with some sort of AI intercom system. one that guides him to perform various maintenance tasks on the animatronics. Michael stays to do these tasks in hopes of finding out what his father has been doing down here for all these years. Funtime Freddy, Funtime Foxy, and Ballora move on their own, but they don't talk much. But Circus Baby...
Can you hear me? I'm pretending. Remember how I said I could pretend? The cameras are watching. I must be careful not to move.
Circus Baby speaks, and not with some pre-recorded lines for an animatronic to play through its speakers. She speaks with purpose. She speaks directly to Michael. She seems to want to help Michael survive his time here, as the other animatronics are hostile and will attack on sight.
Hello, Michael. My name is Agent Dennis Crane. I will be your interviewer for the foreseeable future. Starting recording. Agent Crane commencing interview 2. It's been 2 days since Michael's last interview.
What happened to the other guy? Mark? Is he okay?
Oh yes, he's perfectly fine. He was just a replacement for me while I was recovering.
Recovering? Are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine, thank you. You said you were investigating. What exactly were you investigating into?
At first, my father told me to go to the sister location to find my sister. I had guessed he was losing it and just wanted rid of me because my sister died years back. I worked there for a few days. My father stopped answering calls and then went quiet. And one day the animatronics just killed me.
Circus Baby helps Michael avoid the other animatronics as he conducts his investigation over a few days' time. But why does Circus Baby even care to help Michael at all? He's a complete stranger.
During your last interview, you told us that the animatronics were the cause of your deathly appearance. How exactly did they do this to you?
They used me as a means of escape, tricked me, and led me into the scooping room.
Scooping room? What is that?
Circus Baby's instructions eventually lead Michael to the scooping room, a room with a large robotic arm tipped with a shovel. This machine was created by William to forcefully remove endoskeletons from animatronics and inject a remnant or a soul into whatever got scooped. Michael was led to the wrong fucking side of this room. Funtime Foxy had already been here today.
Funtime Freddy has already been here today. Ballora has already been here today. Circus Baby has already been here today. I've been out before, but they always put me back. They always put us back inside. There's nowhere for us to hide here. There is nowhere to go when we look like this. But if we looked like you, then we could hide. If we looked like you, then we would have somewhere to go. The scooper only hurts for a moment.
Ennard, the combination of the endoskeletons of Freddy, Foxy, Ballora, and Circus Baby. They had tangled themselves together so that they could escape together. But they can't walk around and live a free life looking like this. So they tricked Michael so they could rip him open, hollow him out, and step inside to wear him like skin. A disguise. And you know what? It worked. Ennard was able to walk around outside, greeted with the happy faces of everyone around them. The tangled souls of William's victims were able to live again. Maybe the days of torture were finally over. No longer would they be subjected to the madness of William Afton. They could have their lives back. They would be free to choose their own path forward, without being looked at as monsters. They were free, a new life, a new chance, a new beginning. The skin suit that was once Michael Afton became far too decayed, resembling and smelling like the corpse it was. It was no longer convincing. So Ennard decided to eject themselves and hide in the sewers. However, the scooper not only removed the insides of Michael, but it also injected a soul into the flesh. Michael Afton, rotted and broken, lived to tell the story.
Well, there is something else, something calling me.
Calling you?
A strange, familiar feeling. I don't know how to describe it. It's as if a song is playing in my head, a lullaby.
Michael also tells Agent Crane of a strange phenomena happening with him. A song playing in his head, getting louder and quieter depending on where he is. It's as if he has some sort of internal radar leading him somewhere. Let's recap. William Afton was a creative businessman turned murderous mad scientist psychopath, trying to play God by giving life to robots, by injecting them with the souls of his victims, all in an attempt to bring his dying family back to life. All of this was cut short when he was backed into a corner by the ghosts of his most recent victims, and killed by the very hiding place he felt most safe in. Michael Afton, William's eldest son, with instructions from his father, found the secret underground sister location below his very own home, only to be tricked and killed by the animatronics living there as a means for their escape, used as a disguise until he rotted beyond his usefulness. But being injected with a soul by the scooper, he did not die. These events are the reason why Michael took so long to find his father. But we also know that by this point, William was all but dead, sealed in that Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria room. And the fucking brain-rotted idiot thinks that Michael just maliciously abandoned him after leaving instructions that sent his son down to meet his latest and greatest death machines. William Afton is a fucking moron, and I care nothing for his well-being.
Father, it's me, your son, Michael.
Michael.
Yes, it's me.
You let me rot to die. Your own father.
What? No,
You were Henry. Who fucking killed above you.
Father,
I'm going to tear your fucking limbs off. Slide my arm down your throat and rip everything out. I'll show you what this fucking pig is like. I will relish in your screams, you fucking piece of shit.
No, you're wrong. I searched everywhere for you. I've been looking this whole time.
You're a fucking liar. You always have been.
You were just a monster. You killed my brother and sister. My whole life has been suffering because of you. 30 years locked in a room is nothing compared to the abusive torment you placed on me every day as a child. But I still care. I still tried.
It's my fault your brother and sister are dead. It's my fault we have become this. I don't know what's wrong with me. I go back to yours too.
To kill?
Yes.
How did you do this to us?
Remnant. Dead, but so locked.
Remnant? What does that even mean?
Stolen souls. Used as feed for our own These people think they can hold me, but I'll fucking tell you. If they are, I'm a puppet.
You've lost it. There isn't anything left of who you were. Even if that person was a monster as well. These people were right. You're just a spring trap.
I hear you were with Henry. You just want to stop me.
Maybe I do. Maybe I'll find Henry.
You piece of shit. I'll fucking kill you.
Let's go. What are you doing?
I've been dreaming of this moment.
Let go.
Provide for me, you worthless piece of meat. They fucking shot me. I'll be back for you. Worthless excuse for a son.
Michael, are you okay? Michael, someone get a stretcher in here.
So that went about as well as I expected it to. To nobody's surprise, William became enraged at Michael's little comment saying that maybe he would go find Henry. The MD Foundation, in response to the attack, activated EMPs in an attempt to stop William. This did nothing but piss him off. No, I lied. The EMPs did do something else. They fried all the electronics in the general area, allowing William to just walk through the fucking door, kill 8 more staff members, and escape the entire facility. Why did we set up an EMP countermeasure that would compromise the security of the entire fucking facility? The entity that it's put in place for is known to be and has a history of being hostile, meaning that the EMP is pretty much guaranteed to be used at some point. And we did not think to, I don't know, EMP proof the holding cell or just opt to not use the EMP at all. I see that only geniuses are allowed to work here. William is now at large in the general public, and the Foundation is putting all their resources, despite how incompetent they might be, into finding him. Michael is in stable condition, but has entered a sleep state. The Foundation anticipates that William will be back to finish Michael off, so he'll be guarded for the meantime. You know, because guards have stopped William before. Michael's mental state is declining. You know, this would be a good time to feel bad for Michael. Hated and attacked by the same father who neglected him and his family for his work as a child. Murdered and mutilated by animatronic monstrosities hidden beneath his own home. But I'd suggest you hold your condolences. I've got shit to tell you. You see, while William was hard at work being co-owner of one of the most successful mascot restaurants ever, Michael was left in charge of his little brother, Evan. Evan would cry every time. I mean that he would cry often. And Michael would think to himself, why am I stuck babysitting this annoying little shit? So he decided that if he was stuck looking after his annoying little brother, he would have some fun for himself. Evan was terrified of the animatronics and would hate going to the Fredbear family diner for that reason. Michael, for that same reason, would often take Evan to the diner and leave him there, alone. Michael would lock Evan in the spare parts room where they kept severed animatronic heads and endoskeletons. At home, Michael would lock Evan in his own room for long periods of time. Around the house, Michael would don a foxy mask and scare Evan at every turn. Evan was never safe from Michael's torment. One day at the Fredbear Diner, Michael and his friends wearing various Fredbear character masks decided that Evan should get an up-and-close experience with Fredbear himself. And so, they hoist little Evan up as he kicks and screams to bring him to the stage where Fredbear stood. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday, Evan.
Hello, Michael. Starting recording. Agent Crane commencing interview 3. It's been 3 days since Michael's... You know what? No need in these typical formalities. I'm truly sorry for what happened, Michael. I was worried this might happen. How are you feeling? Your father is wrong, Michael. I think he does care for you. He could have killed you then and there, but he didn't. He ran away, and I think he's just as scared as you are. And even though he's done unspeakable things, I think he still cares for you. In his own way, of course. I can see you are not ready for this, and that's totally okay. Take all the time you need.
Was that really my father? He looked so different. Was all this time searching really worth it? Is he still lost? Even after I found him. He hates me. He blames me. He hates everyone. I don't know what to do anymore. I'm so alone.
Hello, Michael. Starting recording. Agent Crane commencing interview 4. It's been around 4 days since our last interview. How are you feeling, Michael?
Rubbish.
I'm sorry I put you in this situation. I don't know why we let the meet go on as long as it did. We all expected it to turn out badly.
Do you think you were right?
Right? What do you mean?
Do you think he still loves me?
Well, he didn't kill you, and he had the perfect opportunity to do so. In my mind, there is still some part of him that has a connection to you, and no, I don't think he did ever kill you.
But he tried.
And you're still here. You're alive. Your father, he's lost in his own mind. All that isolation has driven him insane. He's emotionally destroyed, and it seems like he thinks everyone turned on him. And that's normal. That's human. That's just sanity for you.
I need to find him. I can fix this.
I'm sorry, but you can't leave, Michael. You could put everything under threat.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. I just need to end this before he hurts anyone else.
By any chance, do you think this noise in your head, this song, is related to where William may be heading?
I'm not sure. Maybe.
William is free for the first time since he was trapped in that cursed suit. For the first time in 30 years. Now, he roams the streets. There's no fixing his condition, so he's not out here looking for a doctor to help him. Maybe he wants to re-indulge in his urges.
What? No, honey, I'm just going downstairs to see what that sound was. No, it sounded like someone broke a window or the door. Tori, are you okay? Just stay upstairs with Sarah, okay? Oh, God. What's that? Just
As you can see, William has learned nothing in his 30 years of solitary confinement. It seems like old habits die hard. I believe that William is on a mission to find Henry Emily, the person who actually turned his back on him. For good reason, but nonetheless. But thinking longer about it, William probably knew Henry pretty well, right? I mean, they co-ran a massively successful franchise together. He would at least know where Henry lived, right? Maybe this is that very home, but it's been 30 years. Plenty of time for Henry to retire and move out. Maybe William mistook this man for Henry, as he took no time between seeing him and attacking him, as if he assumed. The MD Foundation already has this footage, taken from the police before they could investigate for themselves. Yeah, this information is better left in the hands of the people who pushed the button that let this thing escape. They'll surely handle it.
Michael, hey, could I come in? I know this isn't a scheduled event, but I've been instructed to tell you something.
Oh, hi. Yeah, I'd love to. So, what's going on? Are you okay?
Michael, the situation has escalated drastically. Your father, yesterday night he killed a family. A father, a mother, and a baby only a few months old.
What? Are you sure?
The father had a camera. We captured clear footage of William performing these acts. Brutally.
I'm so sorry. God, I'm sorry. This is terrible. God, why would he do this? Oh, it's my fault. I shouldn't have angered him. I should have just been a good son. Idiot.
We expected this, Michael. You were not to blame for any of this.
But the things I said to him, I made him mad. I gave him a way to get out.
The EMP is what gave him a means of escape. It fried all of the security systems in the area. He practically walked out. Michael, because of this, a KOS order has been placed on him, meaning as soon as the Foundation agent comes across him, he will be shot on sight.
Please, you can't. I need to try. Let me try and fix this.
Michael, I have no say in this. If anything, I think I've pushed my luck too far. There have been rumors that I'm going to be replaced or removed.
What? No, but you're so nice. I really enjoy talking to you.
I don't have a say in it, Michael.
Useless here.
You know, even in the darkest of tunnels, they lead to light, Michael. You just need to, push it open.
Agent Crane has been deemed more and more of a liability in the Foundation's eyes because of his ability to empathize with the entities he interviews. If having empathy is such a liability, why bother even interviewing them? Why not just forcefully interrogate them? The Foundation's incompetence aside, Agent Crane has discreetly suggested to Michael that he should try to escape, because if Crane is removed, he would no longer be able to help Michael, and who knows what the clowns that run this place would do in Crane's stead. And so... Michael sets off to find his father, to stop him from hurting more people. We are the MD Foundation. We lock entities we deem to be potentially dangerous in rooms with human-sized ventilation shafts conveniently lit. We use EMP countermeasures to neutralize hostiles without EMP proofing our facility and security systems. We are unable to weigh the consequences of letting one entity harm another, all contained within our walls, or letting the most dangerous of the two walk free.
The MD Foundation, ensuring a safe future.
So as of now, the entities that were once locked within the walls of the MD Foundation have all escaped. William is on the loose searching for something, who knows for sure, and Michael is searching for William to stop him from hurting more people, leaving the Foundation with zero lead to the overall story, and no real way to find the entities that have escaped. Agent Dennis Crane's actions have been called into question, and the MD Foundation as a whole has proven themselves completely incompetent at their job. You're caught up. Let's move on.
General, thank you for taking the time to talk with me.
Alright, you have my attention. Make it quick, I'm a busy man.
This is footage of a meeting between our very own Agent Mark Robbs and the top brass of the MD Foundation's military division, General Hull. Agent Robbs is here on behalf of Agent Crane and the division they're both a part of, here to plead that Crane is not to blame for what has happened, and that Michael poses no threat towards the Foundation or the public. But the General, in typical big military man fashion, isn't having any of it.
Of course not. That monster killed countless civilians, and I'm not about to put more people in danger because of some zombie's agenda.
Agent Crane thinks Michael might be able to talk William down.
Agent Crane is currently being demoted in rank as a result of his actions with Michael.
Why exactly is he being removed? He's the best at what he does. He's managed to uncover so much during his interviews.
That's what we all thought, right up until he allowed Michael to escape. Crane might claim he was in Michael's head, but it's obvious it was the other way around. He grew soft, making him a prime target for manipulation, which Michael obviously took full advantage of.
Michael has the intelligence of a man in his 20s. He's a kid. Don't you think Agent Crane was right in treating him like a person?
I've seen all kinds of creatures appear in those interview chambers. If you lower your guard, they won't hesitate to use you for their own ends, and that's if they don't slaughter you then and there. I shouldn't have to tell you this, but they are not to be trusted.
There's something else. The two go ahead to discuss that there may be a security breach, a hack.
Well, between you and me, we might have a security breach on our hands.
Wait, how bad are we talking?
The security team tells me there's been a hack, a breach in our systems connected to the CCTV in this facility. The logs show someone making copies of CCTV footage and then sending it to an unknown address.
Wait, so someone has control of the CCTV?
Yes, although we're unable to determine who, since the address has an extra level of encryption on it.
So, it's been leaked to some kind of interweb site.
Agent Robb then goes on to theorize that the hack may have something to do with the camcorder that was recovered along with William Afton. At the very beginning of this series, there are two videos detailing this, one found footage and one PowerPoint presentation. In the footage, we are someone walking with the camera through this brutalist structure. It's empty. It's lifeless. It's depressing. Eventually, they come upon this hallway of doors. As they walk, they notice an entity looking at them. The entity lets out a roar, and our camera person darts through a random door. A door that just so happens to lead to the sealed back room of the newer Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. Our camera person turns around, and the door they jump through vanishes like it never existed. And now, they're trapped inside this sealed room. With... The report log details that this recovered camcorder has tech that does not yet exist, such as an HDMI port and a BM egg port. The camcorder is also made by a company called Ambient Film, a company that doesn't exist. Agent Robbs tells the General that this camcorder was plugged into the MD Foundation systems to retrieve the footage. This could be the source of the hack, as the camera could have been carrying some sort of Trojan. This is why if you ever find a USB drive on the street, you don't plug it into your fucking PC.
The situation revolving around Agent Crane is of great concern and matter here at the Foundation. It is confirmed that Agent Crane did give Michael Afton the means to escape. This information was given by the two guards standing outside of Michael's chamber on the night of his escape. This has resulted in a huge security breach in our vent and exterior defenses, allowing an entity to slide out of the facility.
All Agent Crane did was point at the giant fucking air vent you all had in Michael's room, turned to Michael, and then said, "Hey, you can just leave if you want." If the guards knew that Crane had given Michael the means to escape, why weren't they watching Michael more closely? The room is monitored by a goddamn camera and microphone. And you're telling me that all someone needs to do to slide out of the facility is to simply enter the ventilation system? This really all must be Agent Crane's fault.
Agent Crane will be given the chance to explain himself in Foundation Court Inquiry, to where he will gain the presence of the 5 Foundation higher-up founders. The founders will vote and decide on his fate once he has finished his explanation.
There it is. Agent Crane will be going to Foundation Court with no lawyer. He alone is his defense attorney. But during this whole ordeal, other things are happening. An unknown animatronic has manifested inside of one of the storage units within the MD Foundation facility. A Golden Freddy Fazbear, or as we all know him as, the original Fredbear animatronic. It just appeared here. The log details that the storage closet contains items from Michael's chambers, one being Michael's bedside radio. It started playing a lullaby that might be the same one described by Michael in his interviews. Did the lullaby bring the Golden Fredbear here? Or was it the presence of Michael, like Fredbear is following after him?
The date is... Initiating inquiry of Agent Dennis Crane. Agent, you are here today to explain your recent actions, specifically the actions of allowing entity Michael Afton the chance and ability to escape the facility. As you know, these actions are punishable by death, and can and will directly affect the general outside population, thus violating your World Protection Agreement. Considering your special history with the Foundation, you have been given this chance to speak your terms to the Foundation founders. You may now begin.
Thank you for this chance, truly. The Foundation has seen and dealt with many different creatures throughout its creation. I have stood by every decision ever made. However, the situation revolving around Michael was one I could not stand by. And only because I thought you were wrong. All of you were wrong. You tailored us to believe that every entity within this facility, within these chambers, directly have the sole purpose to harm and kill. And most of the time that is true. But Michael did not fit that description at all. And I don't think he ever will. I understand I made things personal. My mercy got the better of me. I saw my own son inside of him. A son I lost to similar damages inflicted to Michael. I shouldn't have done that. I should have stuck to the script and did as I was told. But Michael, even though he technically is an age of over 40 or 50 years old, he still has the mental capacity of a boy in his 20s. He's a kid, a child. He suffered so much and is still being tormented by the world around him. I will take whatever punishment that comes to me. I'm not afraid of death, but only bad decisions. And in this case, I stand by everything that I've done. I only hope you don't regret your decision.
Agent Dennis Crane, Foundation founders have decided your fate. You will continue to work under the MD Foundation. You will continue to interview and research into entities. Your rank has been changed from rank 04 to rank 03. You have lost access to information rooms 04 and 04-5. You will actively assist in the locating and entrapment of William and Michael Afton. Upon successful entrapment, you will have your memory wiped with Class 5 memory drugs and removed from the Foundation with no pension. The Foundation thanks you for your service and would like to remind you that you are on a thin sheet of ice that will shatter to any kind of mistake. You may now leave.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
This footage ends differently than any other in the collection. It sounds as if the camera feed was shut down, not just ended. The length of the static is abnormally long. I'm not sure what this means, but something happened here. But for Agent Dennis Crane, it's back to business as usual.
Hello, my name is Agent Dennis Crane. I will be your regular interviewer for any scheduled appearance. You have certainly put us in a interesting and confusing situation. But anyways, let's begin. Do you have a name? Okay.
Back like we never left. A new anomaly. Another animatronic that won't speak to us. We're not new to this. We just need to give it some time.
What do you want? Okay, I think we're gonna put this on hold for now.
The situation is very familiar to us, but the lullaby is presenting itself more and more. The question is it Fredbear that's the source of the lullaby? Or is the lullaby acting on its own, leading Fredbear to it? Michael mentioned that he could hear the lullaby in his head. Is it the same for Fredbear? The Foundation is wondering the same thing as well. They're also confused about the state of the animatronic and why it lies still and limp. The canon explanation would be that it's because this animatronic is completely missing its endoskeleton, so it's essentially paralyzed. But in this series, as we'll soon find out, that just isn't the case. The Foundation higher-ups also want to disassemble the animatronic to learn about / gain its abilities of teleportation. Yeah, they got real horny when the report said that this thing teleported here. Just another example of the Foundation having their priorities straight.
MD sister location located. PowerPoint presentation. The MD Foundation, ensuring a safe future.
The Foundation has located Michael's childhood home, and thus the underground sister location facility. It's in absolute ruin, of course. The most intact room being the scooping room, which contained a mostly intact scooper, taken back to the Foundation. The room also contained the remains of the Funtime animatronic shells, and a lot of Michael Afton, the only human to step foot on this side of the room. But what of the tricky bastards that used to live here?
MD unknown cable animatronic. PowerPoint presentation.
The Foundation launched a search effort with a radius of about 5 miles around the sister location. It was a residential area, so they had to be discreet, posing as pest control. They searched through an old, disconnected sewer chain, and almost 3 hours into the search through these sewers, a breakthrough.
Agent Dennis Crane. I am here with Agent Paul Wilson. Today we are performing a derusting and then detailed autopsy and disassembly of this unknown cable animatronic. The purpose of the derusting is to give us a chance to analyze the flaked dust in order to get an idea of which kind of environments this animatronic may have been exposed to. Agent Wilson, you may now start the process.
Okay, I'll start now. I'll be using a prototype UV laser light to burn the rust on the metallic structure, in hopes of flaking the rust off. Previous tests of this laser have proven to be very useful. This should take around 20 minutes for each section. Certain areas of the animatronic show traces of perhaps biological matter. The way the rust has folded on the metallic frame suggests blood or moisture. The wires are oddly loose, as if it was transitioning into something. Either way, the upper body is almost complete. Okay, derusting is finished. Have given it a few minutes to settle and harden, and now I will begin the disassembly.
I'll be using an electric diamond blade saw to cut through the right arm to acquire the first sample. Okay. Starting.
What? Agent? Agent? We may need to get a negotiator.
This foundation really doesn't learn from their mistakes, huh? It's almost as if they're ran by idiots concerned with learning how to teleport and care nothing for the well-being of their staff.
Hello? Hello, I'm Agent Crane, but you can call me Dennis.
Wait a minute. You mean to tell me that this entire time we had an interview room with a plexiglass window that can separate the interviewer from the possibly hostile interviewee? And we did not feel the need to use this room once we found out that William Afton was a dangerous son of a bitch? If we had used this room the first time around, William wouldn't have injured Agent Crane and killed dozens of staff and security. If we had used this room the second time around, William would never have been able to attack Michael, kill a dozen more staff, and escape the entire facility, causing Michael to also want to escape to find him. But now we're gonna use this room. Now? We're gonna use it now. This must be all Dennis Crane's fault. Let's blame him.
Before you make any decisions you can't take back, I'm here as a negotiator. And to inform you that the room you stand in is coated with EMP shock panels. It probably won't kill you, but it's certainly gonna sting. Why did you kill that man? They were attacking us. Well, fair point. Sorry about that. We didn't know you had consciousness. What do you have a name? Lovely name, Ennard. I think we got off on the wrong foot here. We've had nothing but bad experiences with animatronics so far. Afton? William, you know? He was here. This was a song? Yes, he was here, but not anymore. We had much fun with him. We killed him once, and we're Calm down. You killed him? This is conflicting. What do you know about him?
This is conflicting. William Afton was killed due to his most recent victims manifesting as ghosts. The victims he killed in Henry's new location after he had banished William from the company. Michael was the one who was killed by Ennard, who had led him to the scooping room. This means that Ennard mistook Michael Afton for his father, William Afton, which a detail that often presents itself within the Five Nights at Freddy's series is that Michael heavily resembles his father, so one being mistaken for the other by one of these animatronics is not far-fetched at all. Throughout the series, Michael and William are often depicted as this purple character, indicating that they do look alike, and misleading early theorists to mistake one for the other. But there's no mistaking it now. Ennard killed Michael Afton. William had been sealed away a long time ago.
This is conflicting. What do you know about him? Okay, right. Then, what do you want in return for information? Oh, wait, I don't think I understand. Okay. Something can be arranged. This is a very odd request. It may take a while. Look, if it means you'll answer our questions, then yes, you'll get it. Can we trust each other?
Ennard has made a very strange request. In return for their cooperation, they have requested flesh. They said during their interview that Agent Crane's friend was too small. It's clear. Ennard wants another skin suit. They're still holding on to the dream of wearing someone as a disguise and going off to live a normal life. Let's say we allow Ennard to do this. It would be a never-ending cycle of death. Just like with Michael, the skin suit would eventually rot beyond use, and Ennard would need to kill again just to get another skin suit.
Hello again, Ennard. Starting recording.
Jesus Christ. And we're back.
This is Agent Crane commencing interview 1. It has been just over a day since our negotiations took place, and it accepted our offer to interview them under interesting circumstances. You'll get it. I promise.
For your sake, you best be sure.
I need to show you something. It's a picture. Is it okay if I... Thank you. Do you recognize this person? Is that so? Interesting. How do you know him? What's the relationship here?
He was the man who lit the flame, who forced us from the light into eternal suffering.
Yes, but how?
He killed us. He contaminated our ship while drowning us, trapping us, condemning us, live, stuck, screaming.
Okay, take it easy. I apologize. So, he killed you, us. Who else did he kill? Who is us? There are a lot of plot holes here. Things we need to fill in.
Ennard has told Agent Crane here what I've been detailing to you all from the start. Remember, Ennard is a combination of the souls of William's earliest victims. The same victims whose bodies were stuffed in the old Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria animatronics. They have been undead for a very long time, suffering for a very long time. The Golden Fredbear has shown no signs of consciousness, but we and the Foundation know that the entity is probably just waiting for the right moment. The animatronic seems to not be hostile, but that just may be because it's incapable of movement. Golden Freddy here does have an endoskeleton. It's actually the same spring lock design that William Afton's Spring Bonnie suit has. However, this endoskeleton spring locks are in the sprung open mode, the mode that readies the animatronic to be worn by a person and puppeted manually. These spring locks are probably permanently stuck in the open mode, essentially paralyzing whoever or whatever haunts the animatronic.
Dang it, Laura! You can't keep doing this to us! Yeah, these people could help. She's acting like circus baby. These people could do good for us. But no, you just want to be the big scary monster they see us as. Just continue to make our toilet even worse. Go right ahead.
Don't you remember? This is exactly why the government invaded the bloodless, killing anyone who got in the way. She was crazy.
We want to kill William just as much as you, but pointless murder just makes us as bad as him. You can tell baby was Afton's daughter. Stop bickering like children. They have us exactly where they want us. Trapped.
For the first time, we're hearing all of the animatronics that make up Ennard speak amongst themselves. Who we've been hearing up until now was just Ballora. But now, both Funtime Freddy and Funtime Foxy chime in, and they seem to be in disagreement with Ballora, comparing her to Circus Baby, who apparently was a bloodthirsty killer. They had removed Circus Baby from their frame because of this, so who knows where she is now. The three argue amongst themselves on whether or not to trust the Foundation to help them find and dispose of William Afton. On one hand, you can't really blame Ballora for her mistrust of the Foundation. And on the other, you can't blame Foxy or Freddy for not wanting to kill everything in their path just to get no closer to William Afton. I'd say they're gonna have to compromise on this one. They've been searching for William Afton for decades with no luck. This is the closest they've ever been to finding him.
Hello again. My name is Agent Dennis Crane. Starting recording. It's been a few weeks since our last interview. The research team, upon assessment, discovered that the metallic frame or endoskeleton within your casing appears to be, how do I say it, spread open, spread apart. With prior experience with this type of technology, a lot of us believe that we could close this up, which will give you motor ability, meaning you can move. All we ask in return is answers to our... Okay.
Seems that Agent Crane, or the Foundation itself, has added bribery to its arsenal of ways to get answers. Although what they've offered Golden Freddy here is much more feasible than offering a giant human skin suit for Ennard.
Why are you here? Afton. Okay. William Afton.
Yes.
Interesting. Why are you looking for William? Hell. What do you mean by that? As in revenge? Well, William isn't here. He broke out quite some time ago now. We are still looking for him.
I know.
How could you know that?
If we act like prey, they'll act like predators. I wait. And like a treadmill, whose inevitable destination is me.
You have a plan?
Of course, the goal of all of these animatronics is to kill William Afton, as he is the source of all their torment and them being like this, undying and constantly suffering. It's interesting to see all of these entities believe that they are solely the center of this problem. Michael believes that he's the only one that can stop William Afton. Ennard believes that they are the only ones that can stop William Afton. And Golden Freddy also believes that he's the only one that can stop William Afton. But why would they believe any differently, as they've all been on their own for decades at this point? But we now know the collective closing in on William is deadly.
For a while now, we have been trying to track down, or attempt to track down, a signal similar to the one that was being used to play that song. We had a previous inmate here who brought the signal to our attention, Michael Afton. Does that name mean something to you? The son of William Afton, Michael Afton.
I have not heard that name in a long time.
How do you know him?
Irrelevant.
When was the last time you saw him?
Irrelevant.
Then what's your relationship with him?
This is Evan Afton, a young boy, long dead, now trapped in the very suit that terrified him as a child. The very suit that killed him after his brother, Michael Afton, forced the young boy to face his fears while laughing at him as he kicked and screamed. The Foundation has taken note of Ennard's three-way conversation amongst themselves, and has come to the conclusion that we already know. Three entities: Ballora, Freddy, Foxy, with Ballora having the most control over movement and authority. The Foundation also overhears them talking about another animatronic, Circus Baby, and are now making an effort to track down and contain this animatronic as well.
Hello, Ennard. Starting recording. This is Agent Dennis Crane here, starting interview 2. It's been a short while since our last interview. It's been made clear that there is perhaps 3 different conscious personalities within you. So, what are your names?
I'm Funtime Foxy.
Funtime Freddy.
And I'm guessing the one who is most in control is Ballora or Ennard?
I'd suggest leaving Ballora out of this.
Why?
She doesn't trust you.
Okay, that's fine. Take all the time you need. I'm guessing you can hear each other's thoughts.
Yes.
Yes.
Interesting. So, why don't you just talk inside your head if you want it to be so secretive?
We do, but we can't anymore.
Why not?
The music.
The song. It's too loud to hear each other.
By any chance, is this song a lullaby?
Yes, it's exactly that.
Okay, that's extremely interesting.
You know what it is?
Somewhat. You were talking about another animatronic, I believe a circus baby. What is your relationship with them?
She was a part of us once, but she lost it. Wanted to kill.
It was too much for us. She loved to kill. Just like Afton. They were so alike.
Alike? How?
Circus Baby was Afton's daughter. She was...
Wait. What? Afton? William Afton's daughter?
Yes.
That's right. Circus Baby was once William Afton's daughter, Elizabeth Afton, killed when she herself got too close to the Circus Baby animatronic. The animatronic would dispense treats for children through a door on its torso. Young Elizabeth was instructed by William to stay away from Circus Baby. But Circus Baby was her favorite animatronic. It was made for her. One day, when no one was around, she got close. And the fucking thing opened up and snatched young Elizabeth inside, trapping her until she was no more. This event is the reason Evan Afton was terrified of the animatronics.
My God. You are all the missing children. All of the animatronics. They... Oh, God. This... You poor kids. I am so sorry. This is...
You know nothing of our pain, and you never will. You people gathered in our broken world, picking up tormented memories, thinking you could gather a story, a reason for all of this. But in reality, it's just about a sick old man luring your children to fill his heart with grief left.
Who are you, Ballora? Why do you fit in all of this?
I'm the one you knew about. You had the chance to stop it, and I didn't. And like whatever, I cradled the tortured soul back into sanity.
Who are you?
I was his consort, the most trusted, but one was led to another and it broke the vow.
Who is Ballora? There are two theories for one answer. Ballora is William Afton's wife, or his consort, as she described. However, the question is it Mrs. Afton's soul possessing the Ballora endoskeleton? Or is Ballora a program designed by William Afton to emulate his wife? I don't believe Mrs. Afton was killed by an animatronic, so she would have no reason to possess one. And remember, William's experiments were all in an attempt to bring back his dying family.
Hello, this is Agent Dennis Crane, preparing the Foundation higher-ups updated log.
This is a log by Agent Crane, reporting to the Foundation higher-ups. Here are the details. 1. Evidence of William Afton have been found in the nearest desert region. They believe he's falling apart due to exposure to the elements. 2. There's no word on Michael's location. 3. The Golden Fredbear animatronic is slowly opening up, but it's only doing so because he was promised a fixed endoskeleton. And everything else that we've learned so far is also reported.
I will be honest, this has been a real strain on my mind. I have seen many horrifying things while working for this foundation, but something as simple and complex as murdering a child has truly shook me to the bone. I'm trying my best to earn the trust of these poor souls so they can open up, but I'm afraid of what I might find. I'm afraid it might open some of my own old scars. Hello again. Starting recording. Agent Dennis Crane, commencing interview 3. It's been but a short while since our last interview. Since then, we have gathered a lot of information that has placed a lot of light on the situation. So, Freddy, is it okay if I call you that?
It is acceptable.
Agent Crane conducts his third interview with Golden Freddy, informing him about all his findings from the previous interviews with all the others. He informs Freddy that he believes that all of the others are the missing children from so many years ago, all of them being victims of William Afton. So Crane inquires heavily on Freddy's memories and relations from his past, mostly revolving around the year of his death, 1983, his last as Evan Afton.
Does the name Michael Afton mean anything to you? In our previous interview, you reacted to that name. Was Michael your brother? Okay. Well, I didn't want to do this, but in the year 1983, there was an accident that led to a child being put into a coma and then later death. This was William Afton's youngest son. His son was brutally and severely injured by one of the animatronics due to a prank gone wrong, including his own brother, Michael Afton, and friends. For the remainder of that boy's life, he lied on a hospital bed with horrifying brain activity that highly suggested that the boy was being tormented and perhaps even tortured by their own subconscious as their mind collapses in on itself. While his father could do nothing but sit with him and cry. Who are you? What was your name? You said you remembered everything. Do you remember your name? If we get your name, it could help us a lot.
Because of Freddy's reaction, the Foundation is now heavily theorizing that this Freddy animatronic was once Evan Afton. They're correct. Which means that during all of this, throughout the many questions and recovery efforts, the MD Foundation has essentially gathered the broken Afton family. Almost. There's still one left.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello there. I was calling because I saw your advert in the paper. I think I have what you're looking for, a circus baby, I believe.
Oh, you do? That's fantastic. How much do you want for it?
How much? Well, to be honest, it just takes up space. I can't even fit it inside the store. And you seem to have much more heart for it, so if you're paying for its shipping, then it's on the house.
For free?
Okay. Starting recording.
On this rainy night, a duo is dispatched to retrieve the circus baby animatronic. Our very own Agent Mark Robbs is the cameraman, accompanied by one of the Foundation's military personnel, and they close in on Circus Baby's location.
There she is. Hey, relax. Again with the aggression.
This thing's really messed up. I don't think I can ever see it being active.
You'd be surprised. Looks like she's still in a sleep state.
For reference, this is what Circus Baby should look like. Here, she's in an incredible state of disrepair.
As creepy as that is, let's just call the transport team and get out of here.
Interesting. I wonder how Afton did it.
Whoa! Holy shit! Robs, stand back.
Wait, no, hold on. I think it's okay. I'm Agent Mark Robbs. I'm here to help you.
Help? Why would I need help?
I know things.
Robs, I don't like this.
David, just wait.
Your friend doesn't want to help. He wants to kill.
Not at all. Just scared.
You are lying. I already know who I am.
You do?
I'm the one who's going to give you both very painful deaths.
slave! You're William Afton's daughter. Your name is Elizabeth Afton.
Talk.
It wouldn't be a proper MD Foundation retrieval mission if they didn't show up undermanned, ill-equipped, and somebody dies. But in the end, Circus Baby agrees to be brought back to the Foundation, and is now the most dangerous animatronic in their custody. The signal is now called into question, the lullaby that plays in Michael's head, in Ennard's head, and through the radio in Golden Freddy's chamber. The Foundation believes that this signal is being emitted by none other than Henry Emily himself, William's longtime arch-nemesis. They believe that Henry is sending the signal out to call William's victims to him for some reason. It's currently unknown if William can hear this signal as well. Through its research, the Foundation has found a way to send a message through the same frequency as this signal. They send a message in an attempt to get Michael Afton's attention. The message?
Hello? Hello. Michael. It's me, Dennis. Listen, we don't have much time. You probably have a lot of questions. We found your brother and sister. They are alive. You can see them again. Come back to the Foundation. We can work everything out. They need you pulling.
It's time for Agent Crane to meet Circus Baby.
Hello there. My name is Agent Dennis Crane. I will be your regular interviewer for any scheduled events. Starting recording. This is Agent Dennis Crane, interviewing Circus...
Where is Afton?
William is currently out of reach.
Your friend. He said he would take me to him. I see no Afton.
Again, he's currently out of reach. He escaped this facility some time ago now.
Lies will get you killed.
We never lied. You'll meet William eventually. We are in the progress of finding him. This is why we located you. If you answer our questions, we are confident we can find him.
I will answer, but only when I want to.
Who is William Afton to you? Specifically, how do you know him? Your name is Elizabeth Afton. You're his daughter.
I knew this, but it's like I didn't want to know. My mind shows me memories, but it never lets me understand them.
Agent Crane continues to ask questions, and Circus Baby continues to struggle to remember. She is told of Michael Afton, and is reminded that he was, or still is, her brother. She herself recalls her youngest brother, Evan, but from then on she struggles and struggles, and is being told more information than she gives.
Crane, I need to speak with you in private.
Okay.
Agent Crane and General Hull argue amongst themselves about how the interview methods are not getting any answers. This entire argument just makes me hope that General Hull is next in line to be handled by one of these animatronics, as he's insufferable and thinks himself untouchable. It's annoying. He's impatient, and I hate him. He and the higher-ups have proven time and time again that they are way in over their heads, and lack the brain cell count to keep casualties to a minimum.
Sorry about that. Anyways, I think we will end it here. I hope this small interview has somewhat jogged your memory. I'll get back to you soon with more questions and details about your life.
The right thing.
Sorry?
What does that mean? The right thing to do?
I suppose it means always push for good, even if there is no reward or little success. You die knowing you tried.
You are most interesting.
Hello, Ennard. Starting recording. This is Agent Dennis Crane, commencing interview 3. It's been some time since our last interview. How are you all doing?
Rubbish. We all did it, after all.
Well, yeah, I suppose you're right.
Agent Crane attempts to set up a meeting between Ennard and Circus Baby in order to see if their conversation will give any useful information. But Ballora strongly rejects this idea. Agent Crane then reveals to Ennard that the man that they killed back in the sister location was not William Afton. It was his son, Michael Afton. This information is a hard pill for them to swallow.
The man you killed wasn't William, it was Michael. Evidence supports that William was locked in a room for over 30 years. Michael, however, was not. I'm sorry to say this, but you killed the wrong person.
This cannot be true. I have been chasing the wrong person. He got away. How did we get it wrong?
Calm
He
down.
never suffered of everything we did. No wonder we're still here. We need to find him. He always gets away. How does he get away? He needs to suffer for this.
Agent Crane proposes the idea of a meeting between Ennard and Michael Afton. Ennard struggles with the idea, as they don't think it would be right to place someone in front of their killer again. It could re-traumatize Michael. And while that may be, the conversation they would have would no doubt reveal invaluable information. After some consideration, Ennard eventually agrees. But in another room of the MD Foundation, a very different interview is taking place.
Hello, this is General Hall commencing interview 2. Star recording. Due to Agent Crane's insubordination, I have taken control of the interviews for this particular entity. The entity in question is refusing to give answers, and due to the lack of time, I have no choice but to use less civil means. The interrogation will now begin. My apologies, but you can be quite stubborn.
I will kill you for that.
Don't make a promise you can't keep, as I'm sure you'll find that I hold all the cards here.
The scooper.
So, you remember it. Then I shouldn't need to remind you what it can do.
What do you want from me?
A few questions. Answer them properly and nobody gets hurt. Am I understood? We've been more than lenient with you up until now. If you don't talk, we'll have to employ less civil means of interrogation.
You are a spineless old man. And once I break free, I will make sure of that.
It appears you don't understand. How many people have you killed since you broke free from the sister location? I'll ask again! How many people did you kill once you broke free from sister location?
I don't remember. You people fade so quickly.
Why did Ennard kick you out? Why did Ennard kick you out?
They found my means brittle, hostile. They were too soft, so they left me.
What is this?
You had your opportunity and it yielded nothing. This is my operation.
Oh, what have we done? Elizabeth, are you okay? Can you hear me?
You're interrupting my interrogation. Get out. That's all.
You are saved. Don't you realize that these animatronics are the missing children? Do you have any idea what you were doing?
Much of the stress that people feel doesn't come from having too much to do. It comes from not finishing what they started. Long story short, you can't die with an unfinished book. This series is the best depiction of Five Nights at Freddy's lore, in my opinion. And while it is unfinished, I have hope that the creator is hard at work to complete this masterpiece of a series and bring a definitive end to the pain and suffering that has cursed the Afton family. The voice work, the sound design, and the atmosphere are masterfully crafted and convey the dark and hopeless tone that I enjoy so much. I only hope that I get to make a part 2 to this, and only this series. Because just like I said from the start, this is the only Five Nights at Freddy's fan series I want to cover, because Five Nights at Freddy's itself is a pain in the ass to cover. I'm done.